welcome to Troy Hill Talks. I'm here today with my first review of the year, and it doesn't get any better than starting with Scream. Or is it Scream 5? Or is it Scream 2022? I mean, who cares? It easily is my second favorite horror franchise, and it's definitely riding on the heels of Halloween. If you haven't seen the original, it follows a story that takes place a year after the murder of Sidney Prescott's mother. Sidney was terrorized by a killer who targeted her and her friends by using horror films as part of a deadly game. Sidney received support from friends Dewey Riley, Gail Weathers, and other various friends and acquaintances throughout this series. Directed by the late great horror icon Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson, I think Scream was a game changer and rejuvenated the horror genre back in the 90s. I've always enjoyed the series, especially trying to figure out who was the killer or killers. I mean, the best part for me was to always do the rewatches with the little notepad, trying to piece together who killed who, and if this person could even been here at this particular time, and is there two killers? Is there possibly three? I mean, it was always that question, but I mean, the Scream franchise has grossed over $608 million, which brings us to this requel, because that's a thing now. 25 years after a streak of brutal murders that shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, a new killer has donned the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. This is a spoiler-free review because I'd hate to ruin the experience for those who plan on seeing this movie. I do plan on doing a spoiler review in the next few days or so, because I would definitely like to look deeper into this film and hope to hear your thoughts and opinions and comments. Let's take a look at the good. Totally love the cinematography, the score, and they created tension and suspense in this film very, very well. The opening sequence was done very well, and I personally think it rivals the original opening. Not better, but I think there's at least some type of debate in there. I enjoyed most of the dialogue in the film. I don't think it totally captured the essence of what made the dialogue of the characters in the original movie great, but it was pretty damn near close, except a few characters who were there primarily really just to be killed. I thought overall the pacing was good as well. I didn't feel like I was watching a 2-hour film. I enjoyed all the kills. Some were just outright brutal with like absolutely zero remorse. And sometimes some of the locations where they happen, I'm like, holy shit, they're doing that right there. But anyways, it was great seeing Sidney, Dewey, and Gail once again. I thought everyone did an amazing job minus a few, but there were some standout characters for me for sure. Definitely Dewey. Loved him as that dude and has just seen some shit in life. He's older, he's worn out. I could just emphasize it with him. He basically was that dude that some of us older guys can relate to. Mindy, another character, was just outstanding. I just think that Mindy just had like a vibe about her that kind of reminded us about somebody else from the past that was just really, really cool. Richie was really, really good too. The things I'm so on is really a sequence that happened a couple of times in the movie. I'm not 100% sure if it worked. I mean, it was kind of cool seeing it the first time. However, it got a little weird to me and felt out of place, after I kept on kind of seeing it over and over again, if that makes any sense. It might make sense to some. Let me know if you guys have that same type of opinion too. Ultimately, this movie was really kind of just like the changing of the guard from the legacy characters to the new generation, possibly starting a new Scream saga. I just don't think Sam is the way to go forward. Anyone that is a fan of Scream totally was all in with Sidney Prescott, and I just don't see her as a foundation of a set of new movies in the future. Another thing that was kind of so-so on this movie is I loved seeing the legacy characters, but they're not in the movie that much, which makes me feel like, are they really necessary? I think Dewey was necessary. I think there was one sequence that was in the movie that you kind of could have just had Gail there and just left it at that. You guys will probably know what I'm talking about when you see that. Sidney Prescott. Was Sidney Prescott really needed in this movie? I kind of feel like this movie was like its own kind of type of standalone type of deal, where maybe it didn't need the legacy characters. Yes, it's great to see them, but at the same time, did they offer that much value to the movie? Excluding Dewey. All in all, I had a really great experience watching this movie, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen any of the Scream movies before, I highly recommend you at least have to see part 1, and you have to see part 4 before seeing this. I give this movie probably like an 8 out of 10. What do you think? Have you seen it? If so, I'd love to see your non-spoiler feedback in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here at Troy Hill Talks. Take care and be safe.